It's really pouring out there today. Well, it's good weather to stay indoors and play a horror adventure game. So, let's look into the depths of the Black Mirror and see what evil hides in the reflection of our soul. The Black Mirror was developed by Czech company Future Games and released in 2003 by the Adventure Company, who also published many other great adventure titles such as Darkfall, Siberia, and Nibiru Age of Secrets. On a technical note, the CD version of the game has issues running on Windows 7 due to a copy protection error, so I also purchased it on GOG.com. Ah, good old games, always there to save the day. Right, Chinchimney? It was totally worth it too, as there's a whole lot of goodies that came with it, including storyboards, character drawings, and different language versions of the game, including the original Czech.
Necítím se dobře. Musíš mě teď omluvit, Samueli.
Jistě. Půjdu se podívat do svého pokoje.
I'm not feeling well. Please excuse me now, Samuel.
Of course. I will go to my room.
The original title was Possel's Smarty. In English it means Death's Messenger.
My master, Sauron the Great, bids thee welcome.
The story revolves around the Gordon family who have been living for generations at the Black Mirror Castle. Old William Gordon is mysteriously killed by being thrown out of his tower window onto some metal spikes below. We play the role of William's grandson Samuel, who reluctantly returns to the castle for William's funeral.
Welcome home, Samuel.
The hand of fate is at work here though, putting Samuel under the influence of an ancient family curse.
I don't feel exactly well within these walls. And that dismal silence.
If it was up to Samuel, he would rather forget all about his past and the fire that occurred at the castle in which presumably his wife Catherine was killed.
Forgive me, Catherine.
But we'll find out much more about that in the sequel, so stay tuned.
What have I done? Oh no! No!
The graphics are incredibly detailed, and it's obvious that a great deal of care was taken in designing every aspect of the scenery, from the pages of a book blowing in the wind to moths casting shadows around a light bulb. My personal favourite is when Samuel puts his hood up in the rain, just a subtle detail but which adds depth and realism to the game. The setting and atmosphere is perfect for a horror mystery story full of decapitation, electrocution, and impalation. I made that last word up. There's a whole lot of dialogue in this game.
What is it that you want to talk about, Samuel?
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
I especially find it amusing when Samuel says, "I will go now," every time he finishes a conversation.
I must go now. I will go then. I think I will go now. I'll be back.
There's often also an awkward pause when you talk to someone.
Victoria, I know you want to be alone.
This is caused by the character sprite having to finish its idle animation, but it still makes for unintentional laughs. One of the main characters at the castle is Bates the butler, who has dedicated his service to the Gordon family.
The weather is truly terrible. A vigorous storm is approaching.
I know.
Then there's Robert, who closets himself away in his study and is obviously up to some suspicious activities.
Let's just say I'm carrying out specific research.
He offers us his camera film, which he has stored in a chest in the attic, but just happens to forget to give us the key.
Oh, I have entirely forgotten about that. Sorry.
This is just a minor inconvenience, however, compared to the several times in the game where we have to wait around for something to happen.
Have you developed that film for me?
Not yet, Gordon.
The worst example of this is waiting for the priest to do some research into the Gordon family chronicles.
I believe I should be able to find the information you need. Please, come back later.
Have you found anything in the old chronicles yet, Father?
Not yet. You need to be patient, my son. You have returned just in time, Samuel. I found the record you need in the Chronicle.
At the church, we also meet the most interesting man in the world, the Gravedigger.
A long time ago, they used to bury heretics here. They say there's a system of corridors under the cemetery where the souls of the innocent wander looking for a way out.
Wow, this guy comes straight out of Necronomicon.
Wycherley? No, that's not it.
Speaking of Necronomicon, I must apologize for my wanton destruction of the game. I was possessed at the time by a Kandarian demon and didn't know what I was doing. The pieces have been sealed in this envelope so the evil will never escape again. But getting back to Black Mirror, we return to the village of Willow Creek and meet a friendly fisherman.
So how is it going today?
I'm going to catch a big one today.
He spends most of the game fishing until he mysteriously disappears. Did he ever catch anything? In the designs of all the inventory items there's a fish, so maybe it was planned for some purpose but was never included in the final game. The most essential item we find is a small knife concealed in a chest piece, reminiscent of the letter opener in Phantasmagoria 1. The knife is used a total of 6 times in the game until it finally breaks.
Damn, the blade cracked.
As the story develops, we learn about the history of Marcus and Mordred, the 2 brothers who started the Gordon family line. It was Mordred who pronounced the fatal curse that has plagued your family all these years.
Of your blood, others will rise with your name, bearing my curse.
We also discover the existence of 5 sacred keys that will unlock the ritual chamber hidden beneath the castle. So naturally, we vow to find all the keys hidden in the graves of our ancestors. With each passing day, however, people around us are dying horrible deaths, having their heads sawn off or being drowned and their bodies entirely drained of blood.
No blood. Not a single drop of it anywhere. As though something squeezed the life out of him, like the juice from an orange, and disposed of its skin in that fountain.
Samuel isn't himself either, having nightmares about the killings and occasionally snapping at people.
Haven't a clue why they made so much fuss over one silly loony.
The loony happens to be my relative. I bet he can pronounce the whole alphabet, unlike you.
I guess we can forgive Samuel for being a victim of the curse, but some of his actions are questionable. For example, he deceives his old relative into using a bogus chemical in his experiment which blows up his lab.
You needn't apologize. It's not your fault.
Yes, everyone makes mistakes.
When it comes to puzzles, they're very well integrated into the game, like piecing together a torn photograph or solving riddles.
The more you take away, the larger it grows.
You really need to know your solar system and signs of the zodiac as well. This zodiac puzzle in particular took me absolutely ages to solve. It's very satisfying when you finally solve a puzzle and reveal a hidden passage or secret compartment. Because that's what good old adventure gaming is all about. Am I right or am I right?
Am I right? Am I right?
I only came across a couple glitches, like here when Samuel collapses in the attic and then suddenly gets back up again, and some cutscenes that didn't play properly. Ah, it's the murderer! Well, actually it's just Ralph, one of the mental patients at the asylum, whose best friend is a doll called Mr. Bubby. His cell is next door to James, the person in the photo we put together, who turns out to be William's illegitimate son. Robert kept him in the asylum to use for medical testing, but sadly he ends up taking his own life. So who's the real murderer, you ask? Well, the writing's on the wall, as they say.
James wrote my name on the wall. Why did he do it?
Well, I think the butler did it in the cellar with the carving knife.
I must go now.